the UE also doesn't know when there will be someone find him. So the UE should always monitor the PDCH, monitor the paging, whether there is a paging for me. If at this condition it always monitors the PDCH, it will waste power. So in the idle state, we still use the DRX. It is paging DRX. Instead, we introduce the connecting. In idle state, it's for the paging. So, when the first day when we introduce the basic procedure, we introduce for paging we have two cans. As for paging, it can triggered by MME. It also triggered but it have a different function. For MME side, that is okay. Someone sends this UE, we need to notify the UE. For inode B trigger, because the system information changes. So if MME triggered, the UE are at idle state. For inode B trigger, the UE may at idle, may at the connected state. So now we only talk about the UE at the idle state. It should monitor one paging message. So at the idle state, for DRX is that we will set one cycle. That is, during this cycle, there is only one frame, one subframe. The UE will monitor it. During this cycle, we will set one frame. We call it paging frame. In this frame, it will have one subframe. The UE only monitors this subframe to read the paging. All others, it will not. It will not monitor it. So this is the unit. This unit is radio frame. This unit is also radio frame. This unit is subframe. That means during this cycle, the UE only monitor the paging message at its PO, the paging occasion. We name it paging occasion. So this is we define. So UE have two cans cycle. That is the paging DRX cycle. One is the UE dedicated, another is inode B side. So when the UE attach, it will send the UE dedicated parameters to the MME side. If MME decide to use the UE dedicated, okay, the MME will deliver this dedicated DRX to inode B. Inode B will use dedicated. If there is no dedicated, the UE doesn't report to MME, or the MME doesn't use the UE dedicated. The inode B side will use the common. It's decided by the network. So if we set a cycle is, for example, we set is 64 radio frames. That means every 64 radio frame, it will contain one PO. It will contain one PO. So this is for the UE. You know, the UE will during this time to receive. But for the inode B side, because the UE have different PO, the inode B, it will according to different UE to transmit it. So this cycle is related to the UE, not related to the inode B transmit. You know, I just according to the UE cycle to transmit this PO for him. So for the inode B side, we can think that the inode B it always transmit PO. But this PO it will always transmit the paging. This paging it will according different UE. I will transmit it in different time. So these parameters are for the UE side. So for the inode B side, we need to control the input B side, how many PO I will transmit. This is the input B capability. Input B capability. So we define one parameter as NB. This value, the NB. The NB it decides how many pages I can transmit during one cycle. How many pages I can transmit during one. So this is the NB. How many? Therefore, during to see, for example, for NB is that. For example, I can cite here it have different parameters. 4T, 2T, T, half T, quarter T, like this. The minus value is 132. Okay. So if I select 4T, that means because the input B side it will always transmit the PO, yes? Because it will according for different UE, but it will always transmit paging. But how many I can transmit during this time? 40. I can transmit so many. So if I set half T, for example, here is 64 radio frame, yes? So for NB, if we set this, for T we set this value 64. So if I set this value 40, that means during this time, during this time, how many PO I can transmit? 4 times 64. So during this time, so for 1 second, how many pages the UE can the input B can transmit? Okay, I said here the T is the UE DRX cycle. For the NB is that the paging number, yes? The paging number. Input B transmit every cycle. T is cycle. The paging number, the input B side can transmit this value. So when we talk about the capacity, we talk about how many UE we can paging for per second. Yes? So here this value, we first have one cycle value. And during this cycle, how many paging we can transmit. And we also need to know one paging message, how many UE it can contain. So the paging, in one paging, the first day we see the paging message, it have a paging UE record list. In that list, the maximum number is 16. That means at the same time, the input B side can paging maximum 16 UE. So now let's recalculate the paging capacity. How many UE? 1 second. So we should first calculate during 1 second how many cycles, right? So 1 second divide the cycles. This is how many cycles. So 1 cycle, how many pagings? Paging is NB, yes? And 1 paging, how many UE ID here? 16, right? 16. So for this time, for this cycle, the cycle unit is radio frame. Radio frame is 10 milliseconds. This is a unit, yes? So we will use the same unit. So we change 1 second. 1 second is equals to 100 10 milliseconds. How you should change the second to 10 milliseconds. Yeah, so 1 second is 110 milliseconds. So we change this unit, the same unit, is divide t. So if we set 40, okay, the MB is 40. Right? The MB is 40. And our paging is contains 16, okay? Here we have a T. At this one, we also have a T. This 2 T, we can delete it. Yes. So it's 400 times 16. This value. And now, how to get this value? This value is the maximum number of UEs the input B can page it per second. So how to get this value is we first set 1T, but you can see here, because MB it has 4 times T, 2 times T like this. So no matter which value you set for T, it doesn't affect the maximum paging number, right? It will not affect the maximum paging UE number. It just affects how long the UE will receive 1 PO. It doesn't affect the inode B paging capacity, because the inode B side always transmit the pages. But which parameter it will affect the inode B capacity? NB, this value, right?
Question. From where the 16 UE
16 maximum.
can found? Is there any related configuration according to 16? Or
Yeah, we can configure it. In the next new month, we can configure these 2 parameters,
Yeah,
1T, 1NB.
to configure 16 related to what?
16, you
16 UE.
You said this one. This one is not configured. This one is not configured. It's fixed. Because it's set by the container size. This container size, we have already defined it. So when we transmit this paging, the maximum size is how already fixed. So you know, when you put one UE ID, it will allocate some resource. Yes. So this resource is fixed. It's fixed. So it only can contain 16. It's decided by this message size. The paging message we have already built it a fixed resource. So the maximum resource, that's like the box is, that's the size. If you put one UE inside it, okay, it will allocate some resource. The total UE it can put in, that's the 16. We don't need to define it because it's according to the size. The size is fixed. But the cycle and the NB, we
If we have many UE, means we have to configure many cycle, something like that.
No, we set at
Maximum
the
40, right?
we set one cycle. This cycle it will this cycle. If we use the common cycle, I said we have no, you didn't come here before I talk about it. For the cycle, we have 2 cans for paging the RX. For the cycle, we have 2 cans. One is UE dedicated to the RX. So our UE itself maintain 1 parameter. It's based on the server itself. Another is the inode B side. The inode B side have a common parameter. So if the UE the report, okay, I want to use myself, they will report to network, report to MME. MME deliver this value to the inode B side. Okay, inode B for this UE, it will use the dedicated parameter. If we don't receive the dedicated one, all the UE it will use the common. So for the inode B side, we can only configure this common. For the dedicated, it's based on the different UE. So when we consider the capacity, so we should consider the UE common capacity. We cannot consider our different UE, right? So if you set a different, and also I said the capacity is only related to MB, it's not related to cycle. It's not related to cycle. You can hear, this is the, actually this is the result for capacity. So if we change this formula is that for 1 second, here we change this value is 100. Yes. For MB, we not use the MB total value, we just use the coefficient. The coefficient of MB. Like this. And it will become 16. So no matter which T you set, it doesn't matter. So if you set a large MB, okay, I will get a large paging capacity. If you set a smaller MB, okay, I will get a smaller capacity paging. So how to set this MB? It relates to the capacity. So it usually will based on, we will have a traffic module and we will configure a different TA. You know, for the paging, it's based on the TA, right? But from the MME side, it's based on the TA. So if the TA is very large, that means in node B it will receive many paging. Because maybe that UE doesn't under this node B, but the system doesn't know. It also will receive the paging and transmit it. So if the TA area you plan is large, so this value you should also set large. If the TA you set small, this means if the traffic module, if the users is not so large value, so you can set this value is small. So when we set the paging capacity, we should consider the different TA values and the traffic module. Yeah, for example, you are at, for example, the BST here. Yes, even we configure this TA not very large, but our building it contains many people. Yes, the traffic module are different. The user are large, so you should configure it a greater value, a bigger value. So it relates to our traffic. So for different MB, you get a different. This is the capacity.
What about if we come from KPI first?
KPI.
For example, paging success rate KPI seems great. Based on this, what we will do?
It will, if you think about the KPI that if you set this value is too small, means if I need to transmit 10 pages, but for capacity I only can transmit 2. So that 8 pages I will not transmit. So it will affect the user service. If you set a too smaller value, when you set this one, they are not mapped to the TA, not mapped to the traffic. So when we talk about paging, usually for the empty access, usually for for example, for the access success rate, when we talk about the success, but actually it has MO success and MT success. For MO success, it's just I transmit the RC request directly, yes. But for the MT, it should first, let's we draw this picture again. So for the access success rate, it usually contains 4 parts. The first part is RC connection success rate. Second, S1 success rate, right? And also have the security. The third one is the AS security. And the last part is the ERAP success, right? For the MO is 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. Usually we think for S1, the UE always can create the S1. Always can create the S1 because usually it's controlled by the MMA side. If this UE is normal, usually S1 will finish. And for the AS security, we also think, okay, it's 100%. There is no failure. We will consider the success. So normally, usually we consider the access. It only relates to the RC connection success and the ERAP connection success. But for MT, that it should first, if the UE is MT UE, it should first contain the step 0 paging. So for MT, it should 0 at 0 times 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. So it equals 0 times 1 times 4. So if the paging capacity you set too small, it cannot transmit receive the pages. So this part will be lower, right? Right? The paging capacity, if you set too small. So it cannot receive the pages, so that it cannot transmit data. It cannot initiate a service. So for paging success rate, actually it will affect the access rate, but it only affects which one? For MT. So usually this value, it will, the default value is T. The default value is T. Usually it will set T or 2T like this. For some small areas, small cells, maybe set half T.
Question. Back slide. Okay, paging capability. As we know, paging there is two coming from with MMP and coming from LTE. So the paging capability, this is for both or only for MMP for this paging capability.
Yes, because for the LTE trigger, you set the paging when we see the paging. The system information is just the indication 0 or 1.
Yes.
It will always contain it. It will always contain it. That means if one paging is from the MME side, and at this time, my system information changed. I also can set the system information indication is 1. So this bit it always exists. There is no function.
So the paging capability will be used from MMA, also used for this coming from LTE.
Yes, but actually for LTE side, it doesn't matter. I just tell you system information change. Yes, but from MMB it will affect the service.
Okay, so mostly this paging capability will be used this paging coming from LTE. So,
No, not only from MMB.
Yeah, that's mostly. Okay. When we will configure the paging maximum number will be used. Okay, the maximum or the minimum, because based on the area, this unit will be different between this urban area, suburban area. So this paging capability will be configured in OP or based on the TA list from
In the tree. Can you figure it in the tree? So when the MME transmit the pages, the MME will transmit to inner tree directly. The inner tree, okay, I will I will waiting for the PO. Only your from you. I will not transmit to you directly because if I transmit to you, but you are not the waking up time, you are not the paging time, so you cannot receive it. So this is decided by the in node B. We configure these parameters also we configure it in node B. So in node B will know when I should transmit the paging. It will according to because for different UEs they may use the same paging occurrence. Because one paging you can allocate 16, yes, 16. So the in node B side, if it received several pagings from the MME, so it will combine it for same PO. Combine it and I deliver it to the UE. So UE only wake up in the PO. The paging occurrence wake up to more than it. Or other times the UE will not. It will always sleep.
I think different area, different UE number in under UP. So we can configure a different UP, a different UP capability.
Yes, we can do it different. We can do it different. It's based on the different areas traffic. So you can set a different one. So you can check your parameters. You can check your network parameters. You set which one. You set half or T or 2T. You can check it. So we call this MB paging occurrence factor. We call it the MB, give it a name. If its function is to indicate how many PO it totally can transmit, how many pagings it can transmit. So here its parameter name is paging occurrence factor. And we also can set the paging repeated times. That means if the first time I transmit, the UE doesn't receive it. When the UE receives one paging, the UE should initiate the RC connection, right? So if there is no response from the UE, that means the UE doesn't receive it. You can set how many times I will retransmit. And for the cycle, we will set 64 or 128. This value, for this cycle, it will affect the UE. If you set this value too large, okay, that means the UE will wait a long time. You know, if there is a paging for this UE, the UE should waiting for this paging occurrence. Only at this condition I will monitor it, I will read it. So if we set the T is too large, okay, this UE, the time delay will be large. When it initiates a service request, it has already waiting a long time. That means if we send a message to this UE, this message arrived at the SGW, but when we send the paging, we should waiting a long time. But if you set a too short cycle, that means the UE will always wake up. Yes. So usually this value will not set for example, like this. The maximum value is 256. It's too large. But normally we will set 64 or 128 like this.
There is cycle patching. This happen in and during this idle state or disconnected state or both.
You set this cycle?
Yes, because there is cycle patching. Patching the normal patching for this only for the idle, no and disconnected. So there is cycle patching. This is for UE for in idle state or this
idle state. Yes.
In connected no.
Yeah, because in connected state you already have the connection. Yes. In connected state you just use the connected state DRX, you know. Yesterday we introduced the DRX in connected state. So if the UE at connected state, so it will, on duration time, it will monitor the PDCCH. If there is a paging, it will not use this one. It will not use this one. This is only for idle state. For idle state, when the UE need to receive a paging, it should waiting for this cycle. But at connected state, it use connected DRX to monitor the PDCCH.
Okay. What happens if the direct cycle paging? I think there is correlation with this inactive timer, right?
You said,
in a normal condition, UA will be in our UA have this inactive timer. So there is no activity during the time. UA will be to this idle. Yeah. So if we configure, example this inactive timer, we configure this 5 seconds. But the RX we configure in this 6 seconds. What happened?
you said the inactivity timer, yes?
Yes.
Set 3 seconds. And for cycle, you set 6 seconds.
Yeah.
You talk about this one?
Yes.
For inactive timer is, what's its function? Let the UE from connected to idle, right?
Yes.
So what's this cycle? When it goes to idle state, it's have already at the idle state. Okay, how long I will waiting? I will monitor the PDCCH to read the PO. There's no relation, right? It has some any relation? It's just okay. For inactivity timer 3 seconds is that if I have no service for 3 seconds, okay, I will go to idle state. When I go to idle state, I will sleep. When wake up, okay, after 6 seconds, I will wake up to monitor PDCCH. And there is no relation. Yeah.
Okay, this, yeah, in active timer this configure this 6 seconds. The RX cycle is 3 seconds.
Use the hair 6, hair 3.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. These two parameters, there is no relation, no affection between each other. Just when I go to idle, and in idle, when it will monitor the PDCCH, it doesn't matter. These two. No relations. Because this is change the state when go to idle state. This is if I at idle state when I monitor the PDCCH.
Okay. I like your break.
Thank you.
Pakai Pak Johnson. Kawinnya juga pakai.
Masalahnya ini.
Sampai Amr juga itu Pak.
Addressnya beda, ID-nya beda.
Karena saya harus.
UI bisa beda, UI bisa.
Saya.
Okay, the parameters we finished.
Calling. Then how to determine the correct NB value, whether 40 or 1T, 2T. How to determine the correct NB value.
What do you prefer?
Yeah.
You use 40 or 50 or
Yes.
50 like this?
Yeah.
You have me explain. When you select 40, when you select 50, how to select it? Which one? Yeah, based on the basket. That is for the different library, it will relate to the TA. You know?
Meeting dulu. Banyak kerjaan memang kita kerja. Tapi itu yang lain
Let's say we set 1T, but it is not enough. How to do that? Let's say we don't know, just set 1T.
This is the process parameter and when we're planning LTE and when we're planning we will have the traffic volume and we will use LTE based how many for this step, for this industry.
ya itu pun kata pun efek 100%. Jadi aslinya 20 mesti cuma 15
Okay, all the parameters will finish.
Okay.
Now it's relaxed time.
Yes, just listening. 5G.
5G, yeah.
5G mana?
5G is very simple.
5G.
We don't have 5G and we just discuss. No, not listening. We just discuss what is 5G, right? Because it's very simple. It's not like 4G. You need a single one. Okay, how apply it in my network? How apply it in my? No, we don't need. We just to talk about it. Just discuss it.
Yeah.
So happy time.
Ya ampun ya. Apa nih gue ngarep ya?
Saya Inggris bersuara lah.
So I think you must read some news about 5G, right? No? No? Because for 5G, usually when we talk about the communications, you know, if we have 4G, okay, we will first design. When we use 4G, we will design what is 5G and what is 6G. So usually the design it will first, and then we will use it. And many countries now have already deployed the test size, and it will test how about 5G. And now we cannot. Maybe next year, the 5G telephone will come out. So if you want to change your cell phone, if you want to change your phone, okay, you can wait 1 year.
Did they already sell the product for
No.
maybe next year ya?
No, we don't have the. Because you know, for the cell phone, the most difficult part is the baseband chip.
It's not the phone, but the
Yes, we have. And we have many test size in
So-
different countries.
What is different about Wangli 4G and Wangli 5G? What is different?
What's it different
Yeah.
between Wangling 4G? Okay. In 4G maybe we talk to each other. Okay, face to face, yes.
And
Maybe in 5G, next time you see me, you just see a video.
video.
And the video seems like I stand here.
So you will say to us, we will not come here anymore.
I will come here. Next week, I will come back again. I will miss you.
Sudah amat ya.
Berhasil juga.
Nah, Indonesia nggak ada.
Enak berarti.
Yeah. Next time I will come back and I will see you again. Yes. So this year, for October and November, and I will stay here. November, the whole month. Because you have so many trees. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know.
I will also be here.
So we will see many times. Maybe next time you don't want to see me. That girl is not well good, okay?
But for this will be here. But after 5G already implemented, I don't think so it will come here.
Yeah. When you apply for the okay. You can ask your leader. Okay. Come only come here. I will fly to here. If you need, I come here. I will come because you are my boss. So for 5G, for different communications, from 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, so almost every 10 years we change one technology. So from the first 1G, we can say 1G. At that time, it's the analog. Yeah, the device is very large. Yes, the device is very large and expensive. We cannot use it.
You have board?
No. I'm so young. The 1G is, you can think 10 years when it has 1G. I'm a little baby.
Oh, really?
I'm a small baby, so I cannot use. Yes, in 1980, I'm a baby.
You have existing.
Oh, please don't guess my age.
So it's
I'm still young. I'm always 18. Okay, so from 1G to 2G, yes, it's changed. From the analog to digital, from 2G to 5G to 6G, all the communications are digital. So for 2G, the first is the GSM. Yes, the GSM, like the 1990. So in 2000, we have the 3G. The 3G, it has many different technology. For the CDMA, for the WCDMA, the TDS CDMA. And even we have the, for Wi-Fi, another kind for Wi-Fi, WiMAX, like this. So in 3G, so 1G and 2G, the service is support only for voice, In 2G, the data speed is very slow. It's very slow. Yeah, it's fancy and slow. But in 3G, we can think 3G it opens the data service gate. Right? From 3G, the data service is become normal. You can use the data service to search online. You can use many different apps. The service is various. Yeah.
You use transfer?
No. In 3G, we think 3G is very good. I think when I use from 2G to 3G, when I use the 3G telephone, I think, wow, so cool, so quickly. But when it goes to 4G, you so slow. I cannot tolerate so slow bit. Yes. So in 4G, the speed changed greatly because in 3G, the data speed only like 1 megahertz, 1 megabps, or less than mega, like this.
MP3.
Yeah, but in 4G, the support, the maximum value it have already around 100. Now, do you want to use 5G, or you think the LTE 4G is already enough? You think the 4G is already enough?
No, not
for me now.
Not enough.
No lah.
The content is not so heavy.
The video call not clear, not handy. I want video call HD.
But I have a problem that I have a question. I have a question that when I buy the smartphone SIM card, we know usually in China when we use VoLTE,
Yeah.
we can use VoLTE directly.
Yeah.
But here, if you use the Android telephone,
Yeah.
you need first install the VoLTE app. Why we need install the VoLTE
Depend
app?
on device.
Depend on device.
Yeah, we have many device already have VoLTE native, but other device you should install the application.
I don't know why it need this apps.
Agreement with device maybe.
Because in China, my cell phone is okay, I can use VoLTE directly. But I come here, if I don't open the application, I don't install the app, I cannot use. Yes. Yeah, I have installed it. I install it.
Okay, call me.
So you already support 40 or
Too late.
Yeah, I support 40.
there is no application.
Yeah, before I come here in China, I use 40. But when I wrote here, I must install the apps. I can use 40. I doesn't know what it is because my phone it can't support 40.
Yeah, go to another country.
I go to many countries. It's very the network is worse. They don't have work.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Dangdut.
This year, in March, I go to Pakistan. Pakistan.
Is it faulty there?
Yeah, they have 40, but they don't have 40.
Because my cell phone is by the chipset is already support 40, but they decide to block the 40 feature.
Yeah, agreement with the technology.
So in 5G, in 3G and 4G, we are focused on the data and the voice. But in 4G, in 4G, the relation is only between man and man, like this. It's just a human relations, human discussion. Just we talk to each other. But there is no relation between two. For example, if you want to talk to the desk, how to, yes? For the smart home,
Okay.
yes? For smart home. For if you want to talk to your computer, yes? If you want to talk to any other things, they don't have mouse, how to do like this. So in 4G, the data service is only happened during the human, not contains the device, So in 5G, we not only want to connect the human, we also want to connect the whole world, to connect everything. So also 5G, sometimes you see 5G that is connect everything. In 5G, we have one slogan is that anything can be connected. Anything can be connected if you want. So in the future, I cannot imagine that. I cannot imagine what will happen. Maybe I will lose my job. You don't need me. You don't need me again to take the training because maybe we have.
You already boss.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope I could be the boss, and then I can purchase a horse. Okay. So for 5G, we add two different services. Actually, in 4G, we have the machine service. We have the machine connection. But for machine connection, different for some device connection, like the bit rate we don't require a hair rate, and also the time delay we don't need a very short time delay, but also like the vehicle, as the vehicles. If for vehicles we have in the future maybe we have the driverless car, right? For driverless car, we need the short time delay. and we should guarantee the reliable. So in 4G, when we talk about the IoT, the Internet of Things, when we talk about it, it's almost we talk about the low bit rate. Low bit rate. We don't need to consider the time delay. We don't need to consider the bit rate. But in 5G, even for the machine connection, we can divide it into different types. For the low speed, high speed, or for the high reliable or the low reliable, like this. So in 2G, 3G, 4G, like this is the traditional service. In 4G, we add the machine. We add the machine service. We name it in LTE. In 3GPP, they define the NB-LT and the eMTC. For these two, NB-LT is for the narrow band Internet of Things. It's just like the bit rate is usually less than 1 megahertz. Usually just maybe 10 kilobps or 100 kilobps. Usually for the NB-LT, it's just used for some for the smart light, for smart parking, like this. So the device only to report some indications or some data very small. So we don't need, and also we don't need to consider the time delay. And also, for example, for the smart home, for some smart home, for the smart glasses, smart clothes, and the smart watch, you need have a higher bit rate than the NB-LT. So we find the eMTC, the enhanced motion type communication. But in 5G, we add money just like the automatic driving, the driverless car, like this. And for some smart hospital, for example, maybe in the future, if we need to have one operation, maybe it's not the doctor, it's a machine perform the operation. So we need the high reliable, and we need the short time delay, very short time delay. So we define another, the URLC, the ultra reliable, and low latency communication. So we have two cans. For VOAR is related to the voltage, to support the voice service. And for eMBB is to support the normal data service. You know, from 2G to 3G to 4G. The trend is that the bandwidth is wider and wider and wider. From 2G to 3G to LTE, we from the 200 kilohertz to 5 megahertz to 20 megahertz. And to 4G, the bandwidth even extended. So we call it eMBB, the extended mobile broadband. So the band extended maybe to 100 megahertz. So it also supports the normal data service. So this is similar to it, support the data service. And except these two traditional, okay, we add the SIMS connection. So for SIMS connection, some connection is, so we use MMTC, machine type communication. So first M is massive. So the connections, it will be explode than the human. So now in 4G, almost one human keeps one hyphen or two, like this. Yes, but in the future, if we use the machine type communication, okay, you have the cell phone, and in your home, the smart home. So all the in your home, all the devices can be communicated. And we have the smart watt meter like this. So all the device, it generates a great connection. this value, this amount is larger than human connection. So it's massive. It's massive motion type communication. And also we have some high level for the URLC. This is for 5G or 5G services. So for 5G services, some similar with 4G, right? So you can see that. For 5G, we totally have these three different. We don't consider the VONR. This is the voice. The voice, just as we can use VoLTE directly. And if we deploy 4G, we can connect the 5G and the IMS directly. So it's not very difficult. For these three one, for EMBB and MTC and the URLC, you think which one we should first deploy? Which one we don't need deploy it so quickly?
MMB need to be deployed first.
EMBB should deploy first because it's the traditional, yes, the data service, and we will use it directly. For these two, now almost for different countries they test the service. One is EMB, another is URLC for the driverless car, and for the smart driving. Because for this one, the MMTC is similar with the 4G motion type communication. So we can use 4G directly, and we don't need to change it so quickly, so fast. I first to develop the one all of the humans will use, and the one we never meet it. So these two we will first deploy, and we will study it first. And for the MMTC, okay, I can use old one. I use old one directly. This is the 5G. So in future, it will connect to everything. You can talk with your desk.
Scary.
Yeah. In China, all the operators, they have already deployed the NB-LTE and the MMTC. For the motion type communication, except the 3GPP defined. It also has some others like LoRa, like Sigfox, like this. And different countries, different operators, they will select a different IoT strategy. But from this trend we can see the connections will be larger and larger, especially in the future. We don't need, in the future, all of you are the boss. You don't need to work because for the network optimization, okay, we have the tools automatically optimize it. So all of you can to travel for holiday. Yes, you can come to China.
And that means it's not working.
So like this. So because we have different services, so we need to define the different KPI. In 4G we have some KPI. For example, okay, which speed it can support, and the coverage it can support, and the bandwidth and the throughput like this. So in 5G, actually the different parameter it relates to one service. For example, the peak data rate it will around 20 gigabps. So this is the peak. Usually we cannot experience the peak, right? Yeah. But for everyone, the user experienced data rate, it should guarantee 100 megabps. In 4G now the peak is 100 like this.
Yeah.
If we use CA, okay, it will be double. But for a normal, if we don't use CA, we just use the one carrier. So it's almost 100 and 150 like this. But in 5G, everyone guaranteed the experience bit rate is 100 megabps. So when you want to download a movie, okay, just need just need several seconds. Just need several seconds.
I need to stream 4K.
HD.
HD will be so ugly.
And another is for the mobility. Mobility in 4G, it can support the highest speed is 350. The speed it can support is only 350, but in 5G, the highest speed it can support 500 kilometers per hour. And for the latency is 1 millisecond. 1 millisecond for air interface. For air interface, the latency should less than 1 millisecond. And you can see if you for the latency, if you use at first when they discuss the KPI, the first said we can set it at 10 milliseconds. But when they discuss this, they said for some special, especially for the URLC, we have the driverless car. Yes? So it controlled, the smart car is controlled by the signal. So when it should stop, all the signaling is transmitted by the air interface, right? So if this time delay is too large, for example, the car speed is 150 kilograms per hour. So if we set this latency as 10 milliseconds, okay, if you want to stop the car, but before I receive this stop signal, how long you have already go out? Okay, you can calculate it. So this value, it relates to our safety, right? It relates to our safety. In the future, I hope I could have a driverless car, because I don't know. I don't have a license. I don't know how to drive a car. So in the future, the most expected service is the driverless.
Great car.
And for the network energy efficiency and the connection density, all this will enhance the KPI. That is, compared with 4G, the 5G, it has a very, very high KPI. So if we want to get this value, so we need to use many different technologies, the new technologies. And for example, for the different, because we have different scenarios now, for EMBB, for the URLC and MMTC, for different scenarios, maybe we have a different requirement for the network. So now in LTE, for data service or voice service, the network are the same one, right? Actually, for different service, we give it a different KPI. So how to guarantee every different service can get a guaranteed KPI. So in the 5G, we have the slice network. Yeah, compared with 4G. The 4G, the latency before is, do you remember the 4G is 5 milliseconds. And we have two. We have control plane and user plane. The latency in 5G, is 1 millisecond. Before it's 50 and 100. Now it's 1 millisecond. And for the peak data rate in 4G, okay, we only 100, 300 like this. In 5G, everyone guarantee you 100. Peak can get 10 giga, a very very big value. And for the connections, per kilometers, it can 1,000. How many? I cannot calculate 1,000 how many?
1 million.
1 million.
1,000.
So, 1 million.
1 million per kilometer square.
Yeah.
Di mana ada kayak gitu?
Every time I change the zeros, I don't know. I missed. I change the zeros. So many zeros. I don't know. I need to calculate one by one.
Like juga Pak. Like what?
And the mobility is 500 kilo. Then 4G we only have 300.
Naik apa
Okay.
500 kilometer per jam?
Okay, we first have a break. Okay. Because you come here, I want to let you have a tea break. Okay.
你好。
我不好。I'm not very good.
Belum datang ya?
Nggak tahu Pak. Nggak ada. Nggak ada.
This one, sometimes we go to the room because at the 11 o'clock we must go to pray on Friday.
So, you want to go rooms now?
Only, can you send your PPT?
PPT, Mr. Tato.
Tato.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tato.
He has already got it.
Okay. Hey, there is a souvenir flash disk.
No.
Because every time if this training give the souvenir flash disk.
Yes.
Minimum.
From now on, we don't have.
Sir,
What is this? What is the difference?
I don't know what's the difference.
Yang satu diketik rapi, yang satu belum diketik rapi Pak.
Yeah, at 11 o'clock we must go to pray.
Ke masjid.
Friday pray. 11.
That in the which time? I know you said the free time, yes.
Yeah.
So what time?
11.
Friday afternoon. 11.
Yeah, 11.
11.
But we go back in here at 1 p.m. or 1:30 p.m.
So 11 you should go to pray, and
Yeah.
you will come back.
At 1 p.m. or 1:30. It's up to you. If you thought you come back 1 p.m. maybe.
Okay. Then we can start earlier.
Yeah.
1:30.
Yeah, 1 p.m. is okay.
1 p.m. you will come back.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Maybe you can ask the other to come at 1 p.m. Because now
Terima kasih semuanya penduduk.
Ada sahabat pengelola? Di bawah.
Bawah
Mandi ada.
bawah kursi alam bisa pakai mobil. Itu saya pakai laptop di sini, nggak bisa di sini. Udah, besok aja kita nggak maksa dia kan.
Pak, saya kesana aja.
Wrong one.
This is wrong.
This is wrong one. Now it's good.
This is the newest. Okay. Before. Now I only
Tadi dia tuh udah
21.
masuk.
20? Yeah, that's enough. 21. 21. Yes, and what's your email? I email you the template. You can. Here is the HON.
Semua udah ini semua ya? Oh, peralatan udah semua ya?
Pakai formulan.
Iya.
Dia pakai ini segala. Ada kan?
Ini udah bener ya? Kemarin waktu kan Pak itu kita diganti tuh Pak.